Hi, it's Sharon, creator of Win the Interview, Get the Job Interview Skills Training Program. In this video, I'm going to talk about the best way to handle the classic "What are your weaknesses?" interview question. The "What are your weaknesses?" question is a classic interview question that is guaranteed to come up in some form in your next interview. Sometimes it can be disguised as "Tell me about your development areas" or "Talk to me about some of the skills that you want to develop at present." At the core of it, it's a very polite way of asking, what are some of the risks that we'll be taking on if we decide to hire you? So that's the real question, or what I like to call the hidden question in the question. Identifying the question within the question is one of the smartest things that you'll ever learn to do as a job candidate, and one of the things that successful candidates do in job interviews all the time. Identifying the hidden question means you identify what the employer is really asking you. In other words, you get straight to the heart of what their concerns are. Now, I don't have time to go into that here, but if you want to find out how to do that, you can go to my website www.interviewquestionsmastery.com/good answers to interview questions. So now you've identified the real question underneath the "What are your weaknesses?" question. So the real question is, what are some of the risks we'll be taking on if we decide to hire you? So I'm going to talk you through a process that's going to enable you to directly speak to the heart of the real question they're asking you and totally satisfy any concerns they might have. The first thing you need to keep in mind when you're answering this question is that you don't want to talk about anything that's going to give the employer the impression that you're going to be a liability to their company. I've seen a lot of advice out there telling people to repackage their strengths as weaknesses by saying things such as, "I'm a perfectionist," or "I work too hard." Interviewers have been around the block. They'll spot those types of phony answers a mile off, and trust me, it won't bode well for you if you take this approach during the interview. Because employers aren't just interested in the skills and strengths that you have. They're also interested in the person behind the resume. Who you are as a person is just as important as the skills you have to bring. So taking this approach isn't going to help you. Here's what I recommend. What I recommend is, in advance of the interview, pick a weakness that you legitimately have. Make sure the weakness isn't going to raise any concerns for the employer. Make sure the weakness is an area that you're actively working on. Because here's the real deal. Employers know you have weaknesses. Everybody has weaknesses, even them. What they're interested in is, are you someone that's going to do something about it? Because all employers want people in their organisation that actively take responsibility for their areas of development so they can grow and develop into better people. Better people in their organisation means people who are more productive, achieve better results and contribute to the overall growth of their company. So let's take an example. Let's say you're going for a sales role. You might say that you have weak project management skills. It might be nice to have project management skills in a sales role, but it's not an essential area, so it's not going to raise any concerns for the employer. But then you would quickly follow that up by saying that you've signed up for a project management course that is going to help you become more effective at setting goals and time management, as well as achieving cost savings for the company you're working with. So what you've actually done with an answer like that is you've communicated that they've nothing to be concerned about, that you're someone who is continuously improving yourself, and you've managed to turn a clanger of a question into an opportunity to sell yourself. Now, this question will require practice before the interview. So write out your answer in advance and be honest about the skill you're lacking in. Don't make something up. And always make sure you can talk about what you're doing to improve the skill and how that skill is going to benefit the company. Before we go, I'll just quickly summarise those points for you so you can take notes if you wish. Okay, so how to answer the "What are your weaknesses?" interview question. First, this question can come up in many guises, so be prepared for that. Second, develop your answer in advance of the interview. Choose a weakness that you legitimately have that is not going to raise any concerns for the employer. Make sure that the area you develop includes what you're doing about it, i.e., how you're improving yourself in that area. Show in your answer how that improvement will benefit the company you're hoping to join. Finally, practice your answer until you sound really natural and confident. So there you have it, how to answer the dreaded "what are your weaknesses" interview question. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.